Hello ladies and gentlemen, Xcentaro here and welcome back to another video. Now I hope all of you are doing well because I'm as always. And in today's YouTube video we're going to talk about 3D buildings in Infinite Flight. Now I know what you're probably thinking, we've already got 3D buildings, but I'm not exactly talking about these airport buildings which you can see right here. What I'm really talking about are the little city buildings and that. And stuff like this. So we're going to just go all the way over. I think it's like a Burger Shack and In-N-Out or something in the United States. But, you know, I'm on about general city buildings such as this one. And cars and the motorways and everything such as that. So you see you got the little guy plane spotting as well. That's a really cool shot there. Look at him there. Just you know, spooking our little 787 that's rolling down the runway by itself. So yeah, we're going to talk about these buildings. Now there has been previous, I want to say development, but that's definitely not the right word, but there's definitely been previous work and development on these aircraft in the past on Infinite Flight. And you know what, we're going to take off using autopilot only today, so we're going to do this by adjusting our vertical speed like this. So yeah, they are actually already existing. Now this is really cool because it means that the development team on Infinite Flight have previously thought about it and have maybe previously attempted it, I suppose. They've tried to give it a go before, which again is really good news for people wanting to see these 3D buildings. This was a really bad takeoff. So yeah, what can I tell you guys about them? Well, I can actually tell you a lot more than I usually can. So publicly out on the Infinite Flight, they have previously done some posts, but I'm talking about 2011-12. When the flight simulator was in its initial starting phases in the little world. So I'm on about a very long time ago, which I suppose is a little bit unfortunate because it means, you know, they're definitely not coming. But Infinite Flight has a lot of old features which, you know, can always make a return one day, hopefully soon. So let's just set the altitude there for our flight here. So yeah, there's some photos of old 3D buildings from about 2011, and throughout this video I will display them on the screen so you guys can have a look at them and know what I'm talking about every now and again. So basically what Infinite Flight stated, so these are from 2013, end of February, and what one states is, since you guys wanted 3D buildings, this is an early preview of what they're working on, and I believe it's New York. So they've said there's no time frame for this, and that is well, that's probably the best thing they could have said, because 10 years later, we don't have city buildings, but we do have amazing 3D airport buildings. So there's our little airport all the way over there, good old Los Angeles. So we might have to return to takeoff in a second just to have a look at these buildings again. But they've also said that there will be less buildings in the final implementation, which is fine. But there's also a lot of work, and they need to think about the efficiency of the phones, because some people are already struggling with certain phones on Infinite Flight, and we're taking off of a tiny runway in the middle of Los Angeles, but that's actually ideal because we can have a look at these buildings while talking. So basically the development team didn't release them. Now I'd imagine there's a good few reasons for why these initial buildings weren't released, and I could imagine one of them being the fact that they just, you know, mobile devices can't handle it. I mean, they can definitely be much better at handling it now, maybe not on a global scale, especially when you look at cities like New York City and you got LaGuardia right by the city, or London City Airport literally in the middle of the city. I mean, the London City approach would be incredible with actual buildings on Infinite Flight. Imagine how cool that would be, but obviously we don't. So yeah, I think that's probably why mobile phones weren't good enough. But it's definitely a possibility that they can come in the future. Like I've said here, if the development team have looked at them before, there's no reason to see why they won't want to have a look at it again in the future. Obviously right now their priorities are based on reworking aircraft, bringing the A380 out, and hopefully 3D clouds, I'm hoping, which should all hopefully come to Infinite Flight. We're going to tail strike, yes, let's go. That was really bad. Oh, we're going to get off the runway though. There we go. No, we're fine, we're not going to stall. I back myself. So yeah, they are definitely hoping to come before we even get a look at 3D buildings. Now, I'm thinking potentially by the end of the decade. Like I said, Infinite Flight has come a long way since 2013. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the physics amazing, but they're much better than they used to be. But yeah, Infinite Flight has come a long way in just those 10 years since those first photos of 3D buildings, which hopefully you're all seeing, have come out. Which means, hopefully for us as users, means that hopefully maybe in 10 years time we will see 3D buildings in Infinite Flight. Now I could only show you guys the photos of the New York ones, which is a bit unfortunate because I wanted to show you the Hong Kong ones because they look amazing. There is a video out there somewhere, but again I didn't have too much time to research this because I'm pre-recording videos for when I moved to university, so I just wanted to get them all out there. So I'm going to bring up our flaps as well. But yeah, so again, talking about the quality, you know, Infinite Flight always set incredibly high standards for 3D buildings entering the mobile flight simulator, which again I think is really good, and I think that's a really important thing that for them to be doing here, setting good standards. But it does mean then for us as users on Infinite Flight, I don't see 3D buildings being a priority for the team. So we've seen them. They've done it in previous works. They've tried their best to see if we can get 3D buildings, but there's no guarantee. So let me know down below whether you think I'm right, whether you think I'm wrong. But again, it's something they've looked at previously. I don't think it will come for maybe a decade. But it's a really cool thing that they've been looking at it before, which means it's played with their minds, which they could do it again. So if you did enjoy the video, please do make sure you like and subscribe. And other than that, I will see you all in my next video. Good night.